My name is Jason Cunningham. I go to Southeastern University in Lakeland. The first seizure was pretty scary. I was 16. It was after soccer practice. And I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning to a paramedic. He said, "Hey, we're gonna take you to the hospital. You had a seizure." And I was like, "No, okay." I was like really delusional. I didn't know what was going on, so we went to the hospital.
I was already at work. I was notified by a phone call, and I was already out working, and it was a huge shock and a huge scare. Immediately, I rushed home.
My mom and dad were crying, obviously, and I was trying not to because I had 3 younger brothers I had to stay strong for.
When I first saw Jason Cunningham, he had had a single seizure with no precipitating factors or anything else. His brother had witnessed him to have a seizure.
They ran an MRI and they found out I had a DVA, which is a developmental venous anomaly. Basically, it's just an abnormal blood vessel in your brain.
And they tend to grow in a small bunch. About, his was relatively small, about that large, but they grow in kind of a round bunch of tangled blood vessels.
But I had 5 to 6 maybe blank seizures a day, absent seizures, where I would just zone out for 30 minutes, or 30 seconds I would say. And I couldn't really talk or think straight. Everything would go blank. Couldn't play sports. And as the oldest, always growing up in sports, having to sit around do nothing really nagged on me, having to sit and watch everyone else do everything.
It was very hard to tell Jason to scale anything back, because we're talking about a young man who went hard and goes hard and does everything, as fast and as hard as he can do it. So telling him he had to scale it back meant no more BMX racing. It meant no more soccer. And that was very tough, because he was, trying to make high school soccer teams and club soccer teams, and he was unable to do any of it.
I couldn't take tests. I would fail tests, not really fail them, but not do as well as I know I could, because I couldn't focus. And I would have 2, 3 during a test, and it was just really hard.
So the family, I think once they saw all the evidence on the table that the seizures were coming from exactly where the lesion was, and that we had it very pinpointed, and that one of the options was surgery, I think they were very anxious to do the surgery.
It was terrifying. However, we had our church surrounding us. We had probably 30 members from our church all around us in the waiting room, waiting and praying.
I was out for about a week and went back in, and I had a test and I could focus. I got a really good grade on it, and I was like, nothing happened. Going through stressful things caused me to have seizures. And so when I didn't have one, I was really noticing it.
Well, I owe them a lot, just because, he at this point has had 0 seizures. We're well over a year, and things have resumed normal for him. He made the high school soccer team halfway through the high school senior year. He played high school lacrosse, which as a senior, and made captain of the lacrosse team, which he would not have been able to do without them. And so they've given him his life back. The nurses and the staff at the hospital were amazing. They loved on Jason just because of his personality, and they were always in checking on him. And one of the ladies was even actually in there playing video games with him. So they really took good care of him.
I'm going to be a nurse. I'm in the nursing program here, and that's because of all the hospitals I've been to. They just treated me with joy, and they made me happy and not be afraid when I was in the hospital. They played games with me, Mario Kart and whatnot. They just made me feel at home, and I want to do that for same kids everywhere, just so they're not afraid, because I know what they're going through. I know what they've been through.